The show's about to start. Are you ready? Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I'm bringing you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the University of Cincinnati Bearcats. Now, do me a favor, if you found the show, hit that like and subscribe button, smash that thumbs up. I am over 1,000 subscribers now. That is awesome. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Now, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. All right, guys, we got a very special guest on the show today. He's none other than Chad. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Glad to be here.
Well, a lot's been happening here lately with the Bearcats. We got spring football on Saturday. 2 days before that, we got a new basketball coach. I mean, you haven't been busy at all, have you?
I think this is my fifth show in 6 days. So,
well, I'm glad I get to be a part of the shows that you're on. I appreciate you carving some time out for me. I know you're really busy, and on the scale of shows, mine's just a little peon, so I do appreciate it. So, question for you: what is your thoughts of Wes Miller? I mean, is it Miller time? Are we going to enjoy this, or what are your first thoughts on the first impression you got with him?
So far, really impressed. I mean, he's a super sharp guy. He knows kind of what his vision is. He knows what his plan is. He's putting it in motion quickly. You know, it's one of those things where you just kind of get a feel right away for somebody, what their personality is, how they're going to be kind of, you know, in my job to work with, to deal with in terms of the flow of information. He's been incredible so far. I mean, it's not often you have the new coach hit you up at 10:15 or 10:45 on a Sunday night, say, hey, you want to do an hour podcast?
Nice. Like, yeah,
coach,
yes.
I'm in.
Hey, give him my number. Exactly. No, but yeah,
he's been great.
Go ahead, sorry.
He's been great. He's been great.
I agree with you. I mean, I like what I've seen. I mean, during the press conference, Mikey Saunders decided he's coming back. I know today you tweeted out that Tari Easton is going to LSU. Have we heard anything about Madsen or any of the other guys that might be coming back, or transfer portal guys or anything like that?
Mason's coming back.
Mason is good.
Yeah.
All right.
Mason's back. Mason's back. Mikey's back. So he got 2 out of the 3 from that freshman class. And I think that was what needed to be done just for roster stability to have a clue. You couldn't go into the transfer portal needing 8-9 guys. You know, if you get it to 6 or 7, that's a much more reasonable number. So I think those were critical. Tari, it just time kind of ran out. I mean, you got to think, and I warned about this as everything was dragging on with the John Brandon situation. You're giving other schools a month. You gave LSU a month head start to recruit Tari Eason. Wes Miller had 5 days. He flew out to Seattle. He did everything he could. And I heard they made it really difficult, but LSU had a lead from the day he got the job, and they held on to it. So that one's unfortunate, but I think you're in good hands with both Mikey and Mason Madsen back. Yeah,
that's exactly what I was saying when they were having the John Brandon saga drag out. I said, look, I don't know if you ever watched my show. I mean, I supported Coach Brandon, but I mean, I support whoever is the coach. That's my team, so I'm going to support them. But I was like, look, if he's not going to be the coach, you need to figure out a way to get him out the door so we can move forward, because the longer this takes, the more kids are going to leave, and the kids in the transfer portal, they're already going to start talking to schools, and we didn't have anybody, talking to them. So yeah, I completely agree with what you're saying there. That was my biggest concern with the time frame of that way they were doing this in.
Yeah, I mean that was the unfortunate part of how things played out. I mean, there's some stuff obviously when it's handed over to the lawyers that are beyond everybody's control.
Yeah, we're never going to know everything, I think.
That depends on it. I mean, that's up to John, I think, at this point in time. If it goes to court, we'll find out.
Yeah, that's when I say money talks. If they pay him enough money, he'll be quiet. So we'll see.
So it was just a matter of with Tari. He had already built a pretty strong relationship with LSU, and it was too much to overcome. But onward and upward.
Yeah, he's the one I'm glad we got Saunders, and I'm glad we got Madsen back. I really wanted Easton back, because to me, honestly, he was looking like a young Corey Blunt. Just toward the end of the season, the way he was starting to play, he was starting to get it together, and that's where I was really hoping we get to keep him. But we'll see what's going on. But we had a rainy Bearcat spring football game where you were there, I was there. It was a lot colder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
The defense looks unbelievable. Now, they were saying that the defense was calling the offensive plays before the offense was, so that might have had something to do with it. But I think this defense could be a top 10, top 5 defense in the country.
That's the expectation. They expect to be number 1 if you talk to them.
That's good.
they were top 5 last year, and they felt like we got room to still improve. And really, when you think about it, what's crazy is the defense dominated, and guys like Kobe Bryant and Ahmad Gardner and Myjai Sanders played 20 snaps.
Yeah, if that.
and they got them out, which is what are those guys? Those guys don't exactly need spring game reps,
right
underneath their belt. But that's the crazy thing to me is, watching spring practice over the past couple weeks. I mean, you're looking out there and you're seeing, 4-star guys running with the third team.
Right.
And not because they're not good, but because there's that much talent already ahead of them. I mean, you're looking at Jaheim Thomas and Sammy Anderson, 2 guys that were the jewel of 2 recruiting classes ago. They're running second and third team reps right now just because there's so much depth and so much talent, stacked on that defense on top of each other. And then you had the super seniors, the guys that returned to add even more to it. So this defense has been fun to watch, and it's been crazy because, every day or two, you'll see the offense get on a little hot streak in practice. Right. And,
right.
I think last Monday it was in 7-on-7.
Okay.
And the first 3 drives of 7-on-7, the ball didn't touch the turf. The offense was lighting it up.
Nice.
And the rest of the practice, the defense was like, hell no. No.
You're done.
No. I hope you guys had fun for that 12 minutes that we let you have fun, because you're done for the rest of the day. And they were done for the rest of the day. We get a chance to be down there, and you'll talk to guys coming off the field. And just something little, like I was talking to Malik Van one day, and he's like, one of the offensive linemen said something, and that was it. The rest of the day, we were just like, you're done. you, you get nothing the rest of the day. I mean, you're seeing and you never see this. You're seeing 7-on-7, the quarterback just eating the ball and not throwing it because there's nothing open. It's 7-on-7. And then you add one of the top 5 defensive lines in the country to the field, and it gets even worse, man. I do not envy Mike Denbrock, Desmond Ridder in that offense, because every day is a pain in the what behind, as Wes Miller would say.
Right. Yeah. Kick their tail.
I don't know what this show's rated.
It's rated whatever you want to say, man. I don't care. But but speaking of Wes Miller, now I'll get back to that. That was one of the best things that I loved him saying in the press conference, that he wanted to beat Xavier. He goes, I know about rivalries, and I want to kick Xavier's tail. So that I know we're going back to basketball, but you bring that up, that was one of the coolest things he said in that press conference, I thought.
Here's the funny thing. I almost didn't get to ask that question.
Oh, yeah?
They wanted to they gave the one more question, and Joe Danneman, I think, asked him something. It was a good question. I love Joe D. But nobody had asked Xavier. So I'm looking over at Ryan Coslin, who's standing there getting ready to shut the press conference off, and you've got your mask on, so I can't mouth it to him. So I'm like, no, I'm pointing my finger at him like, I'm asking one more question. And we got it.
It was a good question.
Somebody had to. I was waiting.
Right.
I was
waiting for somebody to do that. I was waiting for somebody to ask that question. I'm like, come on. I'm like, well, you stepped up.
So then when they got to one more, I'm like, nobody's asked it. Somebody this cannot end with nobody asking about Xavier.
Right.
So I interrupted and got a second question at the end, and it got applause. I'm not saying I won the press conference.
Oh,
but I'm not. I'm not.
All right. I'll say it for you. I'll say it for you. No, but that was cool. Like I said, it got me fired up on that. And then, like I said, then going Saturday to the spring game was fun. And I got to tell you this. Like I said, I don't know if you ever watched the show before. Probably not. But when
I've checked in a time or two.
All right, cool. Well, when the Bearcats were going to the Sugar Bowl, I said that the Bearcats had a chance to win.
Peaceful.
That day of. I said they had a chance to beat Georgia, is what I said. I got blown up from Georgia fans because I still got there's a Georgia fan on here right now trying to talk smack to me. So and I'm like, hello, if you don't kick a 60 freaking yard field goal, we win. Or if we convert the third down, we win. So you guys can, you know what?
Or if our 2 best players on defense play.
Or if our offensive lineman isn't a jackass and get kicked out. Because dude, I'm telling you what. That after he got kicked out, they got pressure on Ridder. Before that, they weren't getting pressure on him. And that's what I was trying to tell the Georgia fans. They're like, oh, no, we got this. Like, did you watch the game? I'm just saying.
That's a first-round NFL draft pick you're trying to block. You had to have James Hudson in there to do it.
Yeah. But that was fun. A lot of fun. 'Cause I told them, they're all like, oh, after the game, you got to go live. I'm like, all right. So I went live on my phone, and I said, a couple of them are like, well, you sound like you're making excuses. Like, I'm not making excuses. We damn near beat you.
Like, I mean, that was the biggest takeaway from that game is man for man, UC was every bit as good as Georgia.
Right. And that's the thing, what you're just saying there, get back to the depth that we have on our football program. I don't think we had that kind of depth even when Brian Kelly was there.
No. I
mean, this is the most talented team, I think, in UC football history from top to bottom, from first string all the way down to third string.
That offense was probably better at the top. Just because you had so much experience.
Yeah.
And you had the best
player. Marty Gilliard.
You had the best player on the field every game with Marty.
Right.
And until they got to the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, we don't need
that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, we like to just forget about that game.
Yeah.
But it's been fun being a Bearcat football fan. People ask me like, so are you guys a football school now? I said, no, dude, we're still a basketball school. We got 2 national championships and 6 Final Fours. We're still a basketball school. It's just kind of in the lower echelon right now. It's going to get built back up. I think Wes Miller has got a shot to do that. And I'll tell you this. I wanted, like most Bearcat fans, I wanted Eric Martin. I thought that'd been cool to have him as the coach. But if you look at what Wes Miller did at UNC Greensboro, 10 years, build it from scratch. He's got 10 years of head coaching experience building a program. Eric Martin is a Bearcat. I don't know if you call him legend, but he's part of the Final Four team. He's got 14 years as an assistant. So I love Eric Martin. I would have been fine. I would have been great. I've been ecstatic with that. But I think I got to give it to Cunningham. I think he made the right choice in Miller. And I think in a couple of years, we might be back up to going to the tournament again every year.
Yeah, I mean, when you're allowed to be both, by the way.
Yes, you are.
You're allowed to be a
both.
football and basketball school. I know some people. Did I lose you? I know some people think you can only be one at a time, but you're allowed to be both. It's funny because we've seen the two times that football has really surged, basketball's kind of had a dip. So it's helped to have at least one strong. But I truly believe with Wes Miller and Luke Fickell, like we could be in for a heck of a ride over the next couple of years. And as far as Eric Martin, I think that you're right. And the biggest thing that tilted the scales to Wes Miller was experience, because you're dealing with a guy that has gone through the learning curve. Like, and I've said this a couple of times. I think if you look at like where the program was 2 years ago, that would have been a good window for Eric Martin to come in, or a guy with no coaching experience to come in, because you could have taken some lumps while you had Jaron Cumberland and Trey Scott and some guys to help you out. Where things are at right now, you need kind of a guy that's comfortable in his identity, a guy that understands his spot, a guy that has 10 years of head coaching experience, and he's made the mistakes. He's made the errors along the way that he's learned from.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was one of the biggest factors that tilted things in his favor is, he's had a chance to grow and to figure out who he is as a head coach. And right now, he's walking in 6 guys on the roster. Right now, there's no better time to have a veteran head coach than dealing with, coming into a roster that needs rebuilt. You have to hit the transfer portal and hopefully find guys that you have connections with and that you've recruited in the past. That's something that a head coach is built to do a lot better than an assistant. So I think that's where, Wes really edged out guys like Aaron Martin, and the other name that was right there at the end was Ryan Peden.
Yes.
Who's the assistant head coach at Ohio State.
Yes. Well, I got to give you a fist bump because you're awesome right there. You kept talking as my internet went freaking crazy. So I don't know.
I've done this stuff a time or two.
Yeah, I'm just like, what the heck happened? I jumped on my phone and I get back on my computer. I'm like, what the heck? So, but yeah, getting to Wes Miller. Yeah, I do think they made the right choice. And the thing about basketball is different than football. Is basketball, damn near everybody makes a tournament. So you have a chance from UC, from the American Athletic Conference. You have a chance to win a national title. Football, it's a lot harder, and that's the one thing that concerns me about being in the American. Luke, look, he's turned down how many different Big Ten jobs. So everybody keeps saying, "Oh, he's going to go to the Big Ten." Well, he hasn't left yet, and I'm not saying he's going to, but eventually, I think he might get frustrated of not having a chance to win a national championship here. What have you heard any rumors? I know with COVID and everything, everything's been shut down, but any rumors at all about us getting out and getting to the ACC or anything like that?
There's those things you don't really know about until they happen.
Yeah,
those things are done behind closed doors. That's I love everybody. In realignment, everybody has a source. Everybody knows what's going on.
Right.
Until something happens, and nobody knew it was about. Nobody knew Pittsburgh and Syracuse were leaving the Big East.
Right.
Like there was nobody speculating on that.
Mm-hmm.
So, people get paid a lot of money to keep that stuff quiet. I mean, you're starting in 2023 to 2025. Almost all the major conferences have their TV contracts coming up. If something's going to happen, it's going to be in that window. But until then, I mean,
Right.
it's
We're pretty much
speculation.
stuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're pretty much stuck where we're at, which, I mean, it just stinks. I mean, because I loved being in the Big East. The Big East was so much fun. One thing I wish would have happened is I wish Hugs could have got to be the head coach when we went into the Big East, at least for a year, just to go into with a, not that
With
Mick
a puncher's
did bad.
chance.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Mick, dude, I'll give it to Mick. Because I used to defend him all the time. People are like, "Oh, you need to get a new coach." I'm like, do you realize what situation he walked into? He had one scholarship player. That was it. And he had to rebuild the whole damn thing. So, I mean.
And in the best conference ever.
Right. Exactly. Yes. And I mean, by the time we left, we were in the Big East championship game. Or we didn't leave. They left us. But, Yeah.
No, I mean, it's, that whole situation, what Mick did doesn't get enough credit. And look at DePaul, look at St. John's, look at there's a bunch of programs that USF never got out of the basement.
Right.
USF struggled to win a game every year, and DePaul struggled to win a game every year. And with Mick, he started from absolute scratch, and you could see every year it was building and building and building. And then once he broke through, they get to a Sweet 16. They play for a Big East championship. They were the only team to beat Syracuse healthy that year.
Yeah. The first year, remember in the tournament, in the Big East tournament, we got beat by a McNamara half court shot. Yeah. I think that was that the first year, or was that the second year?
No, that was Andy Kennedy's year. You don't want to talk the second year.
Yeah. That was Andy. Yeah, you're right. It was Andy Kennedy. Yeah.
Second year they lost to DePaul in the Big East tournament.
They might have
DePaul's only Big East win of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
That wasn't good.
No, I just remember McNamara hitting that shot. I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me! Like,
yeah,
we've had so many of those throughout the years, but I think we're on to bigger and better things. But the most exciting thing is the Bearcat football. Now, question here for you real quick, because I know you say you give me a half hour, so we got about 9 minutes. So let's make this my last question, and I'll get you out of here. Where do you think, in your opinion, Chad Brendel, where do you think, your opinion, the Bearcats football teams will be ranked this year at the beginning of the year?
I think right about 7 or 8 is probably where I think they'll start.
Okay.
They obviously gained a ton of respect with what, how the Peach Bowl played out. And they return the two things that you have to return, right?
Right.
The head coach and the quarterback. That's what pollsters know.
Right.
You return the head coach, return the quarterback, and everything is in the eyes of the national people very rosy. And then you have some guys pop back on defense that you didn't expect. Like Kobe Bryant shocked me.
Yeah.
And he shocked the coaching staff. Everybody expected he was gonna call it a career, call it a college career, and give the draft a shot. And I guess in the locker room after the Peach Bowl, Marcus Freeman made a joke, and Kobe kind of hit him with I'm thinking about it, and because I think Freeman was like, run it back,
Yeah, right.
And Kobe was like, I'm thinking about it. I just need a couple days to go home,
right,
and think it over. And then he decides to come back, and then DeBlanco and Beavers and Brooks and Brown. Now all of a sudden you've got these guys that have 5 and 6 years experience in the middle of your defense and on the outside of your defense. And you've got one of the best corners in the country in Ahmad Gardner. You've got, a pass rushing. I don't know the last time UC's really had a guy like Myjai Sanders.
No.
We've seen a lot of the Connor Barwin type.
Yeah, that's the first name came to my head was him, but that was really 1 year.
Yeah, and that was more like he was a hybrid, but he was more of a power hybrid, right?
Yeah, right.
When's the last time we really had that long, twitchy, unstoppable pass rushing edge guy? It's been a long time.
Antoine Peak, maybe.
I think Peak would probably be. And was Peak as long and athletic as Myjai is?
Probably not as long, but he was.
I remember him.
Yeah,
I remember him being bigger. Yeah, I remember him being bigger. where Majay is kind of that quick twitch, I felt bad a couple times for Dylan O'Quinn. He's got this spin move to the inside that he sets you up because he's coming upfield. He's coming upfield.
Right.
He's coming upfield. And then all of a sudden he takes that left foot, plants it in the ground, and hits this spin move back to the inside. And, if it's live, Desmond Ritter's just dead.
Right.
Because it's a free shot once he comes out of that spin move. He's coming straight for the quarterback. That's a guy that you just get excited to watch. Like everybody, it's funny. I wondered about this since Luke Fickell got here, how people would react to being, a defensive minded program, because everybody wanted the Brian Kelly years where you're scoring 45, 50 points a game.
Right.
But we've seen it with Freeman, and I think we're going to continue to see it with Mike Tressel. This defense is fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like when they get out there and teams are just 3 and out.
Exactly.
Like even a team as good as Georgia, they really struggled to. The only thing they could do was chuck the ball 50 yards down the field,
right,
and hope that a guy made a play, and George Pickens was incredible.
Yeah,
so he made a lot of plays.
Yeah.
But they had no offense outside of that. And watching this defense dominate over the years has really become a hell of a lot of fun, because when you think of fun football, you think of throwing it around and 5 wide and scoring touchdowns. But when a defense plays like this defense does, and they play with attitude, they play with swagger, like they've got that confidence about them.
That's fun to watch.
Yeah,
too.
To me, that's just as much fun to watch as holding a team to. Remember back, everybody was talking about SMU's offense. Or, there was
that's gonna be a
stretch
test for
there.
us.
Yeah, Memphis's offense, SMU's offense. Those teams look like a fish out of water. They couldn't do. They had one drive each. They scored a touchdown, and the rest of the time they were just completely suffocated, like they had a snake. Squeezing the life out of them, and you come in, and those were both top 5 offenses when they came into those games, and they got destroyed.
And we have everybody coming back, which is awesome. I like yes. And the cool thing is, I can actually go to a damn game this year. That's what I'm excited about, because when I went to the spring game, that's the first time I've been in the stadium in a year, and I tell everybody this all the time here. I think Nippert at night is one of the coolest,
it's the best
places to watch a full college football game. It is. Everybody think, why? I'm like, it's in the middle of campus. It's down in the hole. The noise doesn't go anywhere. It's all right there. So it's nice and loud, and the ruckus where the student section is going nuts. And it's just awesome. I freaking love it.
It was so weird the start of the season being there with the place empty.
Oh yeah, it was weird watching it.
I mean, it was so eerie. Just like I'm a guy that like I make sure to like soak in those moments, because I don't, you know what I never want to be? I never want to be that grumpy ass, jaded sports guy, like sports journalist,
right?
That hates everything,
right?
Like, so I make sure, like, the UCF game a couple years ago, before the game, like before you really get immersed in the coverage and trying to dissect what's happening, like just stand there for a second and soak it in. And when the team takes the field, like feel that emotion of the crowd and that passion that you get in Nippert Stadium for a game like that on national TV. Like you have to if you don't have an appreciation for it, that's when you get jaded. That's when you we've had too many guys in this town that write about sports and talk about sports, that when you hear them, you think they hate sports.
They hate it, right? I know. That's where I always try to. People get on me because I'm always Mr. Optimism. But I mean, I will, if something's going wrong, I will call them out on. But like I just say with the Reds, we're starting out 6-1, everybody, or 5-1. Everybody's like, "Well, this ain't going to last forever." I was like, "Just enjoy it, people." I mean, no, it's not going to last the whole time, but this is great.
That's what I don't get about a lot of people now. Like, if you're not enjoying it, what are you doing?
Right.
Why are you watching?
Why are you a fan? Why are you watching it?
Why are you subjecting yourself to misery?
Right.
Like, why do you hate it? If you're going to hate it, Do something else.
Don't watch it.
Take your dog for a walk. Like, find something on Netflix that makes you happy. Like,
right. Exactly.
Especially like, I talk about this a lot back in, 2017, 18, when X and UC were both really, really good.
Oh yeah.
And I told people that entire season, enjoy it, because this is not normal. Like, this is not, quit taking it for granted. Quit freaking out about everything that happens. Just sit back and enjoy that you have an incredible team that is fun to watch. Sit back and enjoy Luke Fickell. You never know how long that's going to last. You never know, what happens there. I think he wants to and will be here for a while, but you never know what comes calling that he can't turn down. What if a legit, like, high level NFL franchise really does come calling for Luke Fickell?
Right.
That's hard to say no to. Like,
it is. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Enjoy it. Enjoy the success, because this is the thing that's lost now. This is what people take for granted. Winning is hard.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Everybody thinks winning just should be like taken for granted. Winning should be expected. Nah, man, winning is hard. And when you've got coaches that are good at it, and you've got teams that are good at it, smile, lighten up, enjoy it.
Exactly. One thing I would tell you real quick, what you said, the stadium was eerily empty. That reminds me of the Tim Murphy years for the Bearcat football when I was going to college there, when we could just pretty much walk in the stadium and nobody was there.
Yeah. Yep.
That's how far back I go. So
you and 300 of your closest friends.
Right. Exactly. We can have a conversation, across the field from each other. All right, Chad. Well, it's 6:01. I appreciate you say give me a half hour. Let's do this again sometime. This was absolutely a blast. I appreciate. And just tell everybody where they get the Bearcat Journal, how they get it. I know you got a discount going on and all that stuff. So tell everybody about your website.
60% off today. Today only.
Today only.
Bearcatjournal.com. We got a lot of good stuff. Wall-to-wall coverage of spring football that's now wrapping up. We've got my interview, my podcast with Wes Miller that's on the basketball page. And basketball recruiting is about to explode. If you want to know maybe a couple names for assistant coaches, go to Bearcatjournal.com. If you want to know a couple names to watch in the transfer portal, go to Bearcatjournal.com.
I'm sold.
We've got everything there. I had somebody say to me today, they were like, LSU came in at the last moment and got Torrey Eason. I'm like, well, that's because you're on Twitter. If you were on BearcatJournal.com, you would have known LSU was the place to watch for a couple days now.
Exactly.
So, thank you, sir. I appreciate you having me on. It was a great time, and we'll do it again.
Sounds good, brother. Take it easy.
All right. Thanks, man.
See you, buddy. So, yeah, if you guys want to know anything and everything about Bearcats, go subscribe to BearcatJournal.com. He's got, like I said, he's got podcasts. He's got an hour podcast of Wes Miller. I might go subscribe just because of that, which I haven't subscribed yet because I'm trying to talk my wife into let me do it. And I've spent a lot of money on other stuff, so we'll see what happens. But I would definitely recommend you guys checking that out. Jeremy D, where you been at?
I have been sitting in the back watching you two, and I got to tell you something. I think he was talking about me, and he didn't even know it.
What's that?
He talked about us fans never being happy. Not one.
Yes!
He was killing me.
Yes!
I was waiting for the Jeffism to come out. Thank God it didn't. Lord knows what he would have said. But, I admit I'm that same type of guy too. But when it comes down to the bottom of my bones, I am Cincinnati Bengals. And I can complain. I can be upset. But man, next week and that's how we all are. And since he said that, and not to switch anything, whatever you want to go into, we'll go into, man. But with Bengal fans, does it seem to you? It seems to me like this, and I don't know about you guys out there. Comment question, whatever, let me know too. But do you ever notice that when the Bengals have a not that great year, but we win our last 4 games, or if we maybe had a decent year and go 8-8, or we have a whole different fan base. But then when we go 4-12 or whatever, then we have a whole different fan base until the next season starts. I don't know if anybody's noticed that, but after watching that last game, I have noticed that our fan base has really ramped it up. They're upset and they're ready to win, and that's okay. But I just feel like at the end of every year, if we do, if we win 4 in a row, you know what? Our base seems okay with that. They see good things coming. And I think, just to give defense to some of those guys out there like me, when you watch a game, the last game of the year, and we get pummeled like that, it does kind of bring you down. But you know what? We're Bengal fans, and we're going to come back up, baby. So just wanted to say, man, he was talking to me.
Yeah, I'm sure he was. So I just want to warn you, because I don't know how much of the show you watched before you jumped on. I pretty much completely lost the show again. I had to jump on my phone for a second, and I'm like, what the heck? And luckily, Chad kept talking. I couldn't see nothing. I got this nice new computer, but my internet, it's really squirrely down here. So it's so hopefully we won't lose it. Just to warn you. So if I go away for a little while again, you need to start talking. Exactly.
Hope you guys are ready for it, because there's a lot up in here. Trust me. Lord, we could go for days, guys.
Not everybody really wants to know what's all up in that mess. All right, well, we got the Reds tonight versus the D-backs at 6:40. Your boy, Luis Castillo, is 1-1 with a 7.40 ERA. Zach Gallen, 0-0 for the Diamondbacks, 2.25 ERA. And Moose is back, baby. So I'm very happy. I missed the Reds playing. Well, hopefully we'll get back on a winning track starting tonight. We're playing them 2 or 3 game series. Hopefully we'll take at least 2 out of 3, maybe 3 out of 3. See, Winker's in there, Nyquin's in there, Gino, Joey, Moose, Senzel, Barnhart, India, and Luis Castillo. So I think we owe them paybacks for last weekend, because not a whole lot went right for the Reds in Arizona. But like I said, when they headed out there, not a whole lot goes right for the Reds when they go out west.
It doesn't. And that's just the truth. And it's not some magical potion. It's not some it's just the way it is. I don't understand it. It's why does the earth gravitate? Why do we have oxygen? I don't know, but I do believe we've got some payback coming. I can see at least, if not the sweep, at least.
We got 1, 2 out of 3. We got to see it, because right now we're a half a game up on Milwaukee. But I mean, we're 9-6. We're at a 600 winning percentage. But it's not like you can't take your foot off the gas. They gotta keep going. And like I said, we owe them. It's time. And Luis Castillo, hopefully him and Tucker Barnhart are on the same page tonight, and we can get a win. And like I said, I'm kind of curious to see what impact Moose will have on the offense being back. Because I know the offense is still clicking without him. I'm not saying we were doing anything bad, but he was swinging. I mean, he had a splashdown out in San Francisco the night after Joey Votto did it. So he was really starting to come on. So I'm hoping the layoff doesn't hurt him, and hopefully he can get back on the horse, because Nick Cablastos is starting his 2-game suspension for yelling bleep yeah, which is still silly. Now, if you guys follow my page, I think most of you guys do follow the page, or on I can put it on Twitter. I don't think I put it on the page. I tweeted it out. So follow me on Twitter too, because sometimes I put stuff on Twitter that's not on the page. But Nick Castellanos was basically talking about how I won't say likes to hear, but the Reds fans, they respect an energy, exuberant amount of energy guy like him. Like, like Pete Rose, like, Barry Larkin, like Chris Sabo. And I've said this a million times. Nick Castellanos, you are one of us, dude. If you ever watch my show, you are one of us. And just hearing him talk about that, and because last year he didn't know what the fans were like. That was one thing he was kind of curious about. He goes, I have no idea what Cincinnati's like, because he really couldn't go anywhere and he couldn't see any of us. So I think he's finally getting his first taste of it, even though he's got to sit for 2 games, which I think is absolutely ridiculous.
In this day and time where everything is just out of whack, it doesn't blow my mind. But at the same time, I've said this, I don't know if I've said this on the show, but you can watch TV at night and you can watch sci-fi till 2 o'clock in the morning. I love horror movies, different things. You never hear they bleep it all out. Okay. But TNT, there's a show I like called Snowfall. I don't know if any of y'all have ever heard of it, but it comes on at 9 o'clock my time, which is 8 o'clock in Ohio. And it is about cocaine. It is about distributing. It is F this, F that, call this person a certain name and that person a lot. And I go to that and I think to myself, so we can put our children in front of a TV and, unless we're not completely watching them and keeping them away from it or deleting it, or, there are things you can do. But at 9 o'clock, you can hear the F word like you would not believe, drugs like you would not believe. But our man says, F yeah, and 2-game suspension. You need to learn your lesson, young man. Go to the principal. Were you not raised right? I don't understand.
I don't either, but Crown is actually right. Crown said Moose is on a 10-day disable list, which that just happened. Yeah. I'm looking at Twitter here. See, I was trying to put it up on the show here, but of course nothing wants to work right for me. But yeah, C. Trent was just saying he's on the 10-day disabled list with non-COVID issues. So
okay,
he went from starting right before when I started the show to now he's not. So I'm not sure what is going on. But
that sucks. I think we can handle it. I think we'll be okay, but that sucks.
You getting some feedback there?
A little bit.
Dang, I'll try to put the picture up here. See if I can do this live on the fly here of what C. Trent said.
It's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what, because he was in the starting rotation.
Yeah,
and they put him up there, and now he's not. So yeah, here it is. So yeah, C. Trent, Reds place third baseman Mike Moustakas on a 10-day IL with non-COVID illness, and reinstate infielder Alex Blandino. So that was as of 10 minutes ago. So it just, like I said, literally just, this is breaking news. Actually, I didn't break it. Crown did, but I appreciate you, Crown, for letting me know, because I didn't know he was not playing.
Yeah, Crown's the man for that one right there. That was a big exclusive, because I had no idea. And even though I think we're going to be okay, 10 games. I mean, what's he sick with? That's what I want to know. Yeah, it's like, okay, you're going to be out for 10 days. You don't have COVID. You don't have, but the flu or the cold, we're giving you 10. Why 10 days?
Well, you guys have to watch the Reds pregame show. Well, after I get off the air, then you can go watch a pregame show. And I'm sure hopefully they'll have as much information as they can give you. But yeah, that kind of stinks that that Moose isn't playing. So we're out until Moose isn't in there. So then Castellanos. So we're out. 2 of our starters are not playing. Which, I mean, like I said, that's one thing about this team. They're deep. They got guys that they can put in. So I'm not that worried about it. I still think we got a chance. And look, if Luis Castillo is pitching like Luis Castillo can pitch, we're gonna be fine.
That's what I think.
Perfectly fine.
That's what I think. And the rest of the guys just keep it up. I mean, Little India, keep going, baby. Just keep going. All these guys, just keep rolling. It doesn't matter who's out there. It's the next man up mentality. Everybody's heard it. Everybody knows it. The Reds can do it. We've already shown we can beat good teams and we can beat good pitching.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
Did you see the comment that Joe Freaking Burrow put out on Instagram?
I've seen about 50 million pictures with him doing stuff and
this
writing,
is the best one.
but
this is the best one. This is a quote from him.
Oh, not the bottom.
If you die without any scars, then you never did anything worth fighting for.
That's right. Yep.
Boom.
Yep.
I mean, that's awesome. I mean, I don't know. If you die without any scars, then you never did anything worth fighting for. That's a pretty big statement. It goes to the leadership I think that young man has.
He's either a really smart, athletic, gifted human being, or he's got one hell of a publicist or an agent. One of the two.
Either way, it's a great quote.
I believe it comes straight from him, and that is awesome.
Exactly. Aviation CVG. So do you actually work at the CVG Cincinnati International Airport? Let's see. You got to win 2 or 3 of them. Got 6 tough games coming up, St. Louis and LA. I agree. I think it's I'm not gonna say it's a must, but yeah, we should win 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks. We should have did it in Arizona, So the Reds are coming down to earth a little bit, but they're still hitting the ball, and there's still the thing that I like is the mindset of hitting the ball hard and doing damage to the ball somewhere is still there. And that's still coming around. So I'm not worried about that. I think it's going to be a good game. Like I said, Diamondbacks aren't that good, so we should beat them. Hey, Jeremy, Crip says happy 420 day, Dimebag.
It is 420. Oh my Lord! Would you get look? We are on the internet. There are cops on the internet. Okay. Cops, people that come and take you and put you in jail. I don't live in Florida. I don't live in California. I live in Alabama, where they just come whoop your ass and take you to jail.
You wanna throw your address out there?
Exactly, right? I'm playing with you, brother. I love you.
Crown, I know, dude. It's supposed to snow tonight. I know. I was wearing shorts and a T-shirt earlier today out there cutting my grass, and it's supposed to freaking snow tonight here in Ohio.
Wow.
Yeah. It's kind of you're down there. It's like 9,000 degrees down there, probably.
I know. Jeez, literally.
There, she's always a great contributor to the show. I think she's talking about Joe Burrow. Excuse me, Joe Freaking Burrow. He did a podcast with Chris Collinsworth today. Burrow will be posted later on tonight. Twitter, Emily Parker. Ooh.
Nice.
Well, Jennifer, whenever you find out where that is, post it to, I know you can post it to Who Day Nation. I'm not worried about that. Put it on Strawberry Ice's page. and let me know where the Twitter is, and I'll retweet it. So I'll get it, because I would never be listening. If I listen to it tonight, because I might be watching the Reds game, I will be listening to it tomorrow at work, or tomorrow night at work, because I'm always working at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So,
yeah, exactly. Middle of the night. I'll definitely be checking it out too and sharing it, doing what I can. That's a nice little nug there, Jennifer. That's a nice little nug.
Yep, I got to call her. She's the queen of Who Day Nation. So
the queen,
Jennifer, the queen of Who Day Nation. So, you gonna watch the Reds game tonight? Can you watch it at Alabama, or are you?
You know what? We just got our MLB ticket, or whatever they call it, MLB pass, whatever, taken off. So if it's not on the Big Ten Network or FSO, not FSO Cincinnati, but FSO.
You got to have Bailey's now. It's not on. We don't have Fox Sports Ohio. Is gone. It's all Bailey's. And if you don't have that, you can't get nothing.
No.
Well, poor you, because I'll be sitting there watching the Reds game.
Yeah,
you're down there in Alabama.
I'll be doing this right here. Oh, come on. Oh, another home run. There we go. That's how we do it.
Oh, you're silly. All right, man. I think we're going to roll on out of here about 6:19. Let's get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream. And as always, I appreciate you guys, every single one of you guys. I know there's more than the ones that I actually mentioned, but there's so many of you guys to mention. Like I said, I'd be here for 20 minutes. And nobody wants to listen to me go to this group. But let's get to this. Houday Nation, which is where Queen Jennifer is from. Go check them out. Cincinnati Reds riding third, heading for home. Bearcat Country. It's a great Bearcat group. Check it out. I should have told Chad to join that. Man, I have to tweet him out. Say, hey, you need to join Bearcat Country. The Ohio State Bucknuts, because that guy's a bucknut. And then you got the Ice Bar. It's a virtual bar. It's a show page. Lots of stuff we put on Strawberry Ice page. We put on there. We put other TikToks, silly memes, stuff like that. Follow me on my Facebook page, Sports with Strawberry Ice. I have 1,017 likes, 1,103 followers. On Twitter, you follow me at Sports Strawberry Ice at Jeff A. Trunapole. I have 388 followers. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram. And do me a favor, we'll be pulling the sound off. Actually, I'll be pulling the sound off this later and putting it up on the podcast. Podcast has been blown up. So if you guys miss any of the show and you're at work tomorrow or lunch or whatever, kick the podcast on, check it out. Make sure you like, rate, and review. Give me a 5-star review. I would greatly appreciate it. It's on BeanPod, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. And YouTubers, we did it. Saturday, we're over 1,000 subscribers now. I love it. I can't believe it. Let's keep it rolling. Let's try to get to 2,000. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. That's Sports Strawberry Ice. And other than that, Jeremy, not known as Diamondback.And, will you help us roll on out of here?
Did you say roll?
Roll.
Oh, that roll. We're rolling out of here.
Rolling out of here. Not rolling.
My bad, guys. I'm Diamondback.And, remember?
Crown, he loves that name, by the way.
My God. You're killing me. I swear. You know what? I love it, though. I love you guys. Screw it. Anyways, other than that, remember one thing and one thing only, and that is you don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati. Keep watching the show. Houday, and let's kick some ass, Reds.
Houday, let's go, Reds. Bearcat fans, I think we're on the right track. Go Reds, win 2 out of 3. And other than that, that's just sports, baby. See ya!